July 5th, 2014, Las Vegas. 2 in the morning. Inside the Bellagio, the air is thick with noise. Dice snapping, chips clacking, drunken cheers melting into the casino's endless hum. One craps table, tucked under the halo of surveillance cameras, is packed shoulder to shoulder. 4 men stand among the crowd, looking like any late-night regulars. But this moment, this frozen second on the casino floor, marks the final breath of a scam that ran quietly for 2 full years. A scam that drained over $1 million from one of the most secure casinos in the world, without touching a single chip they didn't win, without hacking, without sleight of hand. Just words. Whispered words. Words the cameras could never hear. And tonight, for the first time, the house is listening. Because what these 4 men don't know is that every move they make is already recorded, analyzed, matched, and cross-referenced. And the gaming control board is standing just 10 feet behind them, waiting for the signal. This is the story of the Bellagio's quietest heist. A scam so simple it shouldn't have worked. A scam so bold it shouldn't have lasted 2 years. And a downfall triggered not by greed, but by statistics. To understand how they got here, you need to go back to where it began. 2012. Mark Branco had been a Bellagio dealer for more than a decade. He knew the casino floor like most people know their childhood home. He'd seen fortunes crash, tempers explode, lives melt away at the tables. But he'd also watched the casino cut labor, slash benefits, and lay off the very people who made the place run. Mark was one of them. A man in his 40s working night shifts with no upward path. A man who watched tourists drop 10 grand without blinking while he scraped together rent. That bitterness didn't come all at once. It built slowly. 8-hour shifts, fluorescent lights, corporate memos about cost efficiency. James Cooper, another longtime dealer, felt the same burn. Both men had spent hundreds of nights together dealing craps, a game famous for chaos, speed, and noise. A game where mistakes happen, where dealers rely on memory, where the cameras see the hands, but never hear the words. That flaw, so small it barely counted as a flaw, was where everything began. One night, over a late-shift pizza with 2 regular players, Jeffrey Martin and Anthony Granito, Mark finally said it aloud. "There's a gap in the system, a blind spot." The table went quiet. "We don't need fake chips," Mark said. "We don't need to touch the dice. We just use what the game already gives us." The plan was born in a plastic booth outside the Strip. 4 tired men, 1 loophole, and a belief that casinos always win because no one ever fights back. The game was craps, loud, fast, and messy. And in craps, there's a unique type of wager, the one-roll hot bet. Normally, bets require chips placed on the felt, but hot bets? Not always. A player can call them verbally. Hard 6, $10? And the dealer remembers, no chips, just trust. And trust was the flaw. The cameras only see hands, and they don't hear the words. They don't know whether a bet was spoken or invented. The scam worked like this. Jeffrey or Anthony would lean in, mumble a hot bet so quietly only Mark or James heard it. If the roll hit, the dealer paid out, just like any legitimate bet. If it missed, no harm done, because no chips were ever placed. Nothing in the system logged that the bet ever existed. Chaotic tables made it invisible. Graveyard shifts made it easier. Sometimes there wasn't even a boxman watching the side bets. At first, they kept the win small, just enough to blend into the blur of the casino's nightly churn. And it worked. It worked perfectly. Night after night, month after month, the Bellagio paid them. Quietly, blindly, obediently. By 2013, the group had siphoned off hundreds of thousands. Their lifestyles didn't change, intentionally. No flashy cars, no wild weekends, just bills paid, debts cleared, stress reduced. They rotated shifts, players, signals. They stayed boring on purpose. But casinos aren't beaten by what you hide. Casinos are beaten by patterns, and patterns are what the Bellagio was designed to kill. It started with a pit boss, a quiet observation on a slow night, a payout that didn't look right. No chips, no delay. Just an instant win. He didn't report it. He just remembered it. Then another dealer noticed Jeffrey winning too many hot bets. Then another supervisor noticed cluster patterns. And eventually, anomalies were flagged by the casino's automated systems. The Bellagio's fraud supervisor, Shannon Tibbetts, pulled the reports. She requested a probability study, standard procedure. A week later, the results came back. 452 billion to 1. Not impossible, but impossible enough. Enough to end the debate before it began. Surveillance analysts rewound every session involving the group, frame by frame, angle by angle, and a rhythm emerged. Mark or James dealing, Jeffrey or Anthony playing, a nod, a mumble, a fast payout. Still no proof, but the pattern was undeniable. The house didn't strike yet. They watched and waited and prepared a trap. July 5th, 2014, holiday weekend. The casino at full volume, perfect for concealment, perfect for arrest. Mark and James take their places behind the table, Jeffrey and Anthony at the rail. Crowded pit just like old times. They think they're safe. They think the chaos of the night hides everything. They think their routine is invisible. But tonight, the house has stacked the deck. Multiple cameras locked on the table. Gaming control board agents moving in plain sight. Surveillance feeding live updates to a dark room above them. The first rolls look normal. Jeffrey loses a few and wins a few. The usual texture of the game. Then it happens. A whisper, a nod, a roll, a hit, and a payout. And behind them, an agent gives the signal. 2 steps, 2 hands on shoulders, 2 players removed from the table. The dice stop rolling, the table falls silent, and the 2 dealers look up into the bright halo of the surveillance dome, finally realizing the game is over. The investigation is swift. 76 sessions, over $1 million paid out, nearly 400,000 confirmed profit. Not a single chip stolen, not a single marked die, just words. The charges are heavy: cheating at gambling, theft, conspiracy. In 2016, the sentences drop. James Cooper, 5 years. Jeffrey Martin, 3 to 8.5. Anthony Granito, 3 to 8.5, collapsing from a heart attack when he hears the verdict. And Mark Branco, 4 to 10, is the ringleader. All 4 ordered to repay $186,000. None of them still have. Then comes the final blow: their names added to the Nevada Gaming Black Book. A permanent ban from every casino in the state. A list reserved for the worst of the worst. They become entries 33 through 36. The Bellagio never comments publicly. They don't need to. They tighten procedures. End verbal hotbets. Add audio surveillance. Train dealers differently. The loophole closes forever, and the strip keeps spinning. But behind the glitter, one question remains. If 4 exhausted men could drain the Bellagio for 2 years without touching a single chip, how many others have done it better and never been caught?